Hello and welcome back to The Score's the Thing. Today we are looking at The Bird Game by developer Vista Spa Club. This is a mobile game available on Android, and in it you play this paper airplane and you try to avoid birds, and then you pop these balloons that actually will hurt the birds, and then you gather up these little stars that increase your multiplier. This is kind of remarkable for one reason, because it managed to be a survival game in which you have to take risks, in which you are not able to just play it safe, because the multipliers that you get from picking up these stars are so powerful that you can't really get a high score without picking them up. And so it becomes this really fun kind of game of weaving in and out and trying to group the birds together and then hit them with the balloons and pick up their stars. And it's quite challenging, quite interesting. Because it is a game that is played on a touchscreen, it has some quirks. You know, a touchscreen is not a great user interface, and so I'm actually playing this on Nox, which is an Android emulator. And that makes things a lot easier. And it also, I ran into some performance issues. I have kind of an older phone. And when you have lots and lots of birds on the screen, which you'll see in a little while once I get my multiplier up, I was running into some performance issues where when you had an explosion and lots of falling birds and just lots of stuff being rendered onto the screen all at once, it would actually, the frame rate would suffer quite a bit. And so playing it on Nox has a lot more resources available. You don't have that problem. As your score goes up and your multiplier gets higher, the number of birds that spawn get higher. They start spawning in pretty big groups, which makes it more challenging. And so the further you get in, the more difficult it gets. And the more risks you have to take. The biggest risk that you end up taking is with these big groups, trying to weave in and out of them to get the stars. Because the birds don't despawn very quickly, and so it can sometimes be difficult to tell whether or not there are any birds in the group that you missed with the last balloon pop. And so you kind of have to be careful about trying to dive in there and get the stars, which the stars, you know, they stick around for a little while, but they despawn pretty quickly, and so you often have to dive right between the birds, you know, get really close in order to pick up those stars that are so important. You know, your multiplier gets so high in these high-scoring runs, and you just rack up points faster and faster, and so to get a really good score, you have to get a really high multiplier. So this video is actually the highest score that I have ever gotten. It would still, I believe, be number 3 on the leaderboards, though I'm not connected to Google Play while I'm doing this. It's Google Play integrated leaderboards, which, you know, is very handy. There are not a ton of players yet, but I think this is a really fun game, a really enjoyable high score game, and so I challenge you to check this game out either on Nox or on Android, and you know, give it a shot, see what kind of a score you can get, see if you can beat my score. And until next time, thank you very much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.